Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Mass Effect 3 Legendary Edition. I apparently found a Prothean, an honest-to-God living Prothean, so let's, uncover him and see what he's about.
I'm transmitting the signal.
Perfect. It'll take a few moments for the life pod to process it. I'm on it!
Lots of bogies inbound, Commander. We'll have to hold this position. I'm on it! Here they come!
Got it!
Roger that!
Right away! Got it! Understood. Right away.
Affirmative.
Okay, that was pretty dumb. I thought there was cover on the other side as well.
Affirmative.
And clearly I was wrong. I'm really not sure what's up with the shields recovery.
Looks like we've got a second to catch our breath.
Wish my corner man was here. I could use an ice pack.
Is there
Has
any
the life pod ended stasis mode?
We're almost there!
ammo
If
here?
anybody's low, there's a Cerberus supply cache in the building next door.
I can lay down a singularity to block enemy access. Heavy mech, don't let it get close!
Oh, come on. At the very least, it's saved between waves, which is at least a little bit forgiving.
Heavy mech, don't let it get close!
Roger that.
Come on.
This isn't particularly great against shield. But then neither is this. Fortunately for me, the bot seems to be unable to actually enter the building.
Affirmative.
Roger that. Roger that.
Okay, that's something I didn't actually remember. If you shoot the glass enough times... Oh, I can even use it? I totally didn't remember that. That's pretty interesting. Where's the remaining opposition, though? I totally didn't remember that you could do it. I do like it, though. Though still not entirely sure what I'm even waiting for. Like, clearly there has to be an enemy somewhere.
There. You can open the life pod now.
I do like this quite a lot because it offers a lot of tactical versatility. Like it rewards, you know, creative use of your resources. And it's totally sensible too. If you keep targeting the same spot, it does make sense that it would break. What doesn't make sense, I guess, is why did they even design it that way? That guy should have been completely encased in armor and used some kind of a camera to see what he's doing, rather than a glass pane.
There, you've got it. Goddess. It may take him some time to fully regain consciousness. Be careful, he's confused. Remember, it's been 50,000 years for us, but for him, it's only been...
A few minutes.
No. The bunker is falling. There is no other option.
There are pods online. Those soldiers are still alive.
Their sacrifice will be honored in the coming Empire. Preparing neutron bombardment. Get to your life pod now. Neutron bombardment underway.
left of it. A few hundred people. How am I to rebuild an empire from that?
Further adjustments may be necessary. The neutron purge compromised the facility.
Clarify.
Sensors are damaged. Automated reactivation is not an option. You'll remain in stasis until a new culture discovers this bunker. This may lead to a power shortage.
Do not shut off more pods. I need the few that are left.
Power needs will be triaged appropriately. You will be the voice of our people.
I will be more than that. How many others?
Just you. You can understand me?
Yes. Now that I have read your physiology, your nervous system, enough to understand your language.
So you were reading me, while I was seeing...
Our last moments. Our failure.
Well, they actually did pretty well. You know, the Prothean fight against the Reapers, it took generations. Like, it wasn't... They weren't all conquered in, like, a few years. It was, you know, dozens or maybe even hundreds of years.
Your people did everything they could. They never gave up. And I could use some of that commitment now.
Shepard, whatever you did got Cerberus interested.
Asari. Human. I'm surrounded by primitives.
It's not safe here. Will you join us?
You fight the Reapers?
Yes.
Then we will see.
A living Prothean.
That's correct, Admiral. But he's not quite what we expected.
Commander, our scientists barely understand what they need to do here. If the Prothean can help us construct this device, we need his cooperation.
Understood, Admiral.
We're losing colonies faster than we can evacuate. We've never seen a force like the Reapers.
He has, Admiral.
Can he help us?
I intend to find out.
Good. Cerberus slipped up and gave us a new weapon. Don't let it go to waste. Hack it out.
Shepard, I need you down in the port cargo hold. It's about our new guest.
I'm on my way. What's the problem?
I've tried to make the room more accommodating, but they're not letting me talk to him.
Apologies, Doctor. Contact protocol with a new species. Assume hostility. We had to dust off the regulations.
But he's not new. I've spent my life studying Protheans.
Well, I wouldn't say we can trust him. We know literally nothing about him, and he is from 50,000 years into the past. I would say being careful is like the least we can do. It doesn't mean we shouldn't try to cooperate with him, but we shouldn't make assumptions that he's necessarily going to be friendly.
We've never met one before. Nothing wrong with playing it safe. Should we be worried?
That depends on you. I can sense fear in you, anxiety and distress. The Reapers are winning.
What do you mean, you sense?
All life provides clues for those who can read them. It is in your cells, your DNA. Experience is a biological marker.
Then what exactly did I experience back on Eden Prime? That was a hell of a flashback.
The battle left its own mark on me. I communicated this to you. It can work both ways.
Like your beacons.
Yes. Which... You found one. You saw it all. Our destruction, our warnings. Why weren't they heeded? Why didn't you prepare for the Reapers, human?
It's Commander. And nobody could understand your warnings. The beacon nearly killed me.
Then communication is still primitive in this cycle.
We pieced together what we could, and used it to stop a Reaper invasion 3 years ago.
Then the extinction was delayed.
Now we have your plans for the device. We're going to build it.
Device?
The weapon your people were working on. I'd hoped you could tell us how to finish it.
We never finished it. It was too late.
Then I take it you don't know anything about the catalyst?
No. I was a soldier, not a scientist. Skilled in one art, killing.
What was your mission?
Among my people, there were avatars of many traits. Bravery, strength, cunning. A single exemplar for each.
Which are you?
The embodiment of vengeance. I am the anger of a dead people, demanding blood be spilled for the blood we lost. Only when the last Reaper has been destroyed will my purpose be fulfilled. I have no other reason to exist. Those who share my purpose become allies. Those who do not become casualties.
Nothing in our fight against the Reapers has been that cut and dried.
Because you still have hope that this war will end with your honor intact.
I do.
Stand in the ashes of 1 trillion dead souls and ask the ghosts if honor matters. This silence is your answer.
We found this at the dig site. I assume it belongs to you.
It is a memory shard.
Could it help us with the device?
No. It contains only pain. But I will help you fight. And the last thing the Reapers hear before they die will be the last voice of the Protheans, sending them to their grave.
If you don't mind, I have a few more questions I'd like to ask.
Here it comes.
I've written over a dozen studies on your species. I've published in several journals that...
Amusing. Asari have finally mastered writing.
I'm sorry?
Never mind. What do you wish to know?
We've never seen a species with this sensory ability you have.
It was common among my people, imparting experience through touch, the chemistry of life. Complicated ideas could be absorbed in seconds.
That sounds very useful.
We evolved as hunters. Reading 1,000 details in our environment ensured our survival.
So could you read something about this room?
There was liquid, a form of incubation. The DNA of a Krogan who lived here. He was powerful, prone to violence.
I'm impressed. His name was Grunt.
And if he were my enemy, I would have given him a wide berth. There is great strength in his genes.
I'm beginning to understand the beacons a bit more.
Later, we developed technology to harness our ability. Information could be stored in certain objects through touch. Memory has its own biomarker, its own chemistry, as do knowledge and skills. The beacons could remember these things.
Things like Reaper invasions.
Yes, I can still sense the turmoil in you, witnessing the extinction of our empire. The fabric of your being was forever marked that day.
Now, to be honest, I think I find Javik's indignation as us not heeding their warnings to be a little irritating. Like, I understand it, especially because for him, it was literally yesterday that the whole Prothean Empire crumbled, and now he wakes up and finds out that nobody has even done anything, and it's happening again. But I do find it annoying because they approached it with a very stupid, kind of borderline insulting presupposition that they programmed the beacons attuned to their own cultural understanding of the world, but obviously that makes no sense whatsoever, because they weren't meant for other Protheans to find. They were meant for totally different species in the future to find. So, like, I understand they couldn't have exactly predicted which species is going to find it, what language they are going to have, but they had some pretty good clues, because all of those species, humans, Asari, Krogan, Turians, Salarians, they existed at the time of the Prothean Empire, and the Protheans interacted with them directly, so they could have written this message, like literally written it out with pictures and stuff, in the languages, the proto-languages of those species that are most sort of probable to discover it in the future, which would have avoided a lot of turmoil and a lot of problems, which is actually... This is actually something that we as humans kind of have to contend with, and I talked about it in Mass Effect 2, because Jack wrote a poem that contained lines from a message meant to be displayed at a nuclear waste disposal facility, like site. Not a facility, but like a site where nuclear waste was supposed to be stored. And, there are actual scientists thinking over right now problems such as how to effectively mark nuclear waste disposal sites so that 10,000 years into the future, whatever human civilization that comes after us, whatever culture that we evolve into, finds it, that they do not mistake it for like a grave of an honored warrior or some kind of treasure trove. How to mark it effectively so that they know it's dangerous. And I think the Protheans should have done something like that, analyze it not from their own perspective, because they didn't need the warning, they were already dying, but analyze it from the perspective of those who would come after them, how to most effectively communicate with them. To be honest, even the most primitive, like pictures would have been more effective than the beacons themselves. Because at the very least, one of the problems that the Council and a lot of others had was that Shepard was the only one that actually saw the visions, right? And even he didn't fully understand them. But if they had like a picture book about the Reapers, baby's first Reaper, then at the very least, you could show that to others and they could mull it over. And as I said, there was a possibility they interacted with the primitive versions of our species in their time, so they could have written messages in our languages or whatever language we used at the time. At the very least, it would have been easier to decipher than the Prothean language itself. But even then, just writing a message in the Prothean language, just writing it out, would have still been a better option than relying on this, biocommunications that the Protheans themselves possessed. Because as far as they know, and they did know that, and none of the other species at the time possessed that, so that's kind of dumb.
Back on Eden Prime, it looked like there were other stasis pods. What happened?
The Empire had fallen, and we knew our cycle was lost. We were the final vanguard, the best soldiers left alive.
So more of you were supposed to survive into this cycle?
Yes. Under my leadership, a new Prothean Empire would have arisen. We would have commanded the races of your time to prepare for the next Reaper invasion. But traitors within our ranks, indoctrinated agents, betrayed us, and the Reapers discovered our plan.
Just out of curiosity, how would you have commanded us?
By leaving you no other option. You would have joined our army, or faced the Reapers alone.
We've uncovered quite a few Prothean ruins. Were you observing our ancestors?
Before the war, we cultivated species who showed potential. Eventually, you would have been offered a choice to join the Empire. But when the Reapers attacked, we ceased all study. We hoped they would see you as too primitive to harvest.
Well, thank you. I think. Is there anything more you can tell us about this device your people were trying to build?
We heard only stories. They said our scientists were constructing a great machine that had the power to defeat the Reapers.
You never saw it?
By that point, the Empire was smashed into pieces. None of us knew what the others were doing.
Well, if we don't finish it soon, the same will be true of us.
What can you tell us about your own war with the Reapers?
Many of the details were lost. The conflict lasted for centuries. Those that faced the Reapers in the beginning were long dead when I was born. There were memory shards, however, passed down from soldier to soldier. They gave us fragments of what happened.
Several years ago, we found a Prothean VI that called itself Vigil on the planet Ilos. He was the caretaker of a research project.
During my life, Ilos was only a rumor. It was said we had cities there, built on the ruins of a civilization before us, the Inusanon. If our scientists did have a research facility, whatever they were doing was secret.
Yes, Vigil said they wiped all traces of themselves from the records so the Reapers couldn't find them.
The scientists eventually went into cryogenic stasis.
More of my people survived?
No, but they did stop the Reapers from taking control of the Citadel in this cycle. It delayed their invasion.
I never saw the Citadel. It was captured long before I was born.
How did your people wage war against the Reapers?
Attrition. We fought them system by system, planet by planet, city by city. Entire worlds were sacrificed just to slow the Reapers down. Time they spent harvesting a population was time we could regroup.
That must have cost you in the long run.
Yes. Our own people would be indoctrinated, converted, then turned against us. But there was no choice. Mercy is not a weapon. It is a weakness.
Why do you think your own cycle lost the war?
What had been our strength, our empire, became a liability. All races conformed to one doctrine, one strategy. The Reapers exploited this. Once they found our weaknesses, we could not adapt. The subservient races became divided and confused. Then, it was only a matter of time.
I'm happy to say our cycle is different. Most races cooperate, but they still remain unique.
Then it may be your only hope.
Liara here would never forgive me if I didn't ask you. What was Prothean civilization like?
Yes, I've always wondered, what sort of government did you have, and can you tell me about your religious beliefs, or perhaps the...
We are dead now. What does it matter?
I'm sorry. Studying your history has been a lifelong passion of mine.
When I was born, our empire was already at war with the Reapers. The first thing I remember was seeing my planet on fire.
What was your civilization like before the Reaper attack?
We were the dominant race of our cycle. We ruled the galaxy.
My studies indicated you were the only race engaged in space travel at the time. I always found that curious.
We were one empire composed of many subjects. All eventually called themselves Prothean.
What if they didn't want to?
They weren't given a choice.
Are you saying you enslaved the other species?
Any could oppose us if they wished. And if they had won, they would have ruled. Many tried. None succeeded.
I had no idea Protheans were so... severe.
It was by necessity. Very early we encountered the dangers posed by machine intelligence. They rebelled against us.
We've had the same problem. They're called Geth.
We could not allow the machines to surpass us. It was decided the only way to win was to unite all organic life within our empire.
Did it work?
For a time. The Metacon War. We were turning the tide. Until the Reapers arrived. Then we understood machines had surpassed us long ago, in ways we could never imagine.
Thank you for talking with me. I never imagined actually meeting a Prothean.
This has been amusing.
Oh?
To discover the most primitive races of my time now rule the galaxy. The Asari, the humans, the Turians.
There's also the Solarians.
The lizard people evolved?
I believe they're amphibian.
They used to eat flies. Commander, you may count on me. I am known as Javik, though I still need time to recover. The shock has not worn off yet.
I understand. This must be a hell of an experience for you. We're just glad to have you aboard, Javik.
So, the Protheans, they were, galactic imperialists, pretty much. Conquering everyone and forcing them to be subjugated to the Prothean Empire. I am glad that I have a chance to experience Javik as a character, but as I said, I am also a little salty because he seems to invalidate the choice of any other character that I could bring instead of him. Like, he's just... his potential reactions, especially given that I haven't seen them all, I've only seen a couple on YouTube and stuff, his potential reactions are so interesting that I couldn't really justify bringing anyone else instead of him. So I think I'm going to keep bringing him and just switch the other teammate.
So much has been lost. So much has changed. And yet the Reapers are still here. For me, it was only yesterday. Our empire spanned the galaxy. Now we are only a myth. I'm recovering my strength. I will be ready soon. I require more time for the stasis to wear off. I require more time for the stasis to wear off.
Commander.
I will not buy anything here because it's at a markup, so it's a waste of money.
Everything is in order.
I still can't believe it. A real... Sounds like the Turians got hit pretty hard by the Reapers. So, the Turians want us to go find one of their politicians, huh? Nice to see we're being put to good use. Well, maybe we'll get to kick some Reaper ass while rescuing the Primarch. I bet the elusive man's boiling in his brandy right about now. Took that Prothean right out from under him. Hey. Hey.
Everything is in order. Everything is in order.
Wait, what does that even mean? Bonus powers. Like, as in Mass Effect 1? Like, I would just get another power down here? If so, then I don't really need it at the moment. I would rather, you know, spend points on developing what I already have.
How are you, Commander? How are you, Commander?
Dr. Tassoni found useful information in the data you recovered, Commander.
Remains of a Reaper destroyer. To avoid the risk of indoctrination, remote drones have been sent to study the salvage domain of a Reaper destroyer. The drones can dig under the outer hull, scanning circuits for technology that will increase the speed at which tech, biotic and combat abilities can be fired. Alternatively, the Council has offered a Citadel-wide merchant discount for choosing the safer option and demolishing the remains. No, I will actually take the power recharge speed. Prothean notes, entry 1. The things this Prothean must have seen. If they had the technology to preserve someone for over 50,000 years, no wonder they were capable of building things like the device on Mars. I must give him the time to get his bearings, but goddess, when will we get another chance to learn so much about their civilization?
A Prothean. A living, breathing Prothean right below me.
He's not what I expected.
Me neither. He was a little cold when I tried to talk. I understand the shock of waking up again. His species gone. But a Prothean, Shepard. There's so much he could tell us. It's good to see you. It's good to see you.
Commander, you've got a new message at your private terminal. Those poor colonists on Eden Prime. First the Geth attack, now Cerberus. For what it's worth, our new crew member doesn't need a translator himself, but he shared a Prothean language tutorial program. It was apparently designed for servant races being inducted into the Empire. Charming cultural clue. Commander?
New article on Eden Prime. Alliance officials confirm a local resistance movement has successfully pushed Cerberus forces off Eden Prime. Cerberus attacked Eden Prime for reasons that remain unclear and set up facilities to occupy the colony, but after the constant attacks from the united populace, Cerberus troops retreated. Alliance officials are sending in evacuation transports to get the colonists off-world before Reaper forces reach the colony. We owe this victory to the Alliance, Resistance leader Edward Crabb said in the pre-prepared statement. The people of Eden Prime have always been ready to fight, but Alliance intel gave us the tools that we needed to push those Cerberus bastards off of our planet. Many Resistance fighters have said they plan to enlist to support the Alliance.
Did you see the Citadel when we were there on leave? You'd never know there was a war on.
They'll know soon enough. All those refugees have to go somewhere.
I will check my war assets before I plan course to Palaven, because I picked up a couple new ones. Alliance Spec Ops Team Delta. Half of Delta's officers have an N5 designation, with a few N6 soldiers in the ranks. They specialize in conflicts outside Citadel space. Delta is known for strict admission standards, professionalism on high-stakes missions, and the Alliance's loudest parties. When asked how senior staff looks at their off-duty roadiness, Captain Matthew Brown was quoted saying, "After the shit we went through in the terminus systems, they are just happy we're not burning down the base." Alliance cruiser Shanghai. The Shanghai's most important part in the Reaper War up to date was the evacuation of the colony Ukbar. Alliance Intel reported Reaper forces headed towards Uqbar, but as a cruiser, the Shanghai was unable to land on the medium-gravity world. The Shanghai's captain quickly dispatched all of its shuttles to help transport hundreds of colonists onto the ship. Making over 41 shuttle runs in a single hour, the Shanghai managed to evacuate the entire remaining population. When the Reaper forces arrived, Uqbar's capital city was empty, as if it has never been inhabited at all. Alliance Naval Exploration Flotilla. In peacetime, the Alliance's Naval Exploration Flotilla is used as a survey force to chart out new systems. The NEF came under fire in 2185 when several dozen service people were charged with withholding information on rich mineral deposits in order to sell locations to the exploration firm Barrier Frontiers. The Alliance attempted to hide the controversy to little avail, as more and more officers were indicated. Eager to bury its shady history, the NEF has dedicated its entire flotilla and mineral resources to constructing the Crucible. Eden Prime support. Eden Prime is an agrarian world, producing millions of tons of food that is sold to less arable planets. The Alliance has set up supply lines from this colony to funnel excess provisions to its troops. A few researchers who studied Prothean technology on Eden Prime have avoided capture by Cerberus. They have forwarded copies of their work to the Alliance, hoping it can build the Prothean device on Mars. Although its military defenses were seriously damaged by Cerberus' invasion, Eden Prime's remaining government has loaned the Alliance several Athabasca-class supply freighters. Eden Prime's colonists drove Cerberus away from the system entirely. With its shipping lanes secure, the colony is sending out as many supplies and equipment as it can spare. And then there is the Crucible. Completing the Crucible device will require entire systems of resources and skilled workers, as well as the galaxy's brightest scientists. Prothean data files. These Prothean disks were found years ago on Eden Prime, recovered a few months before the discovery of the Prothean beacon in 2183. For years the data on the disks was incomprehensible, until the Crucible's blueprints provided the key to understanding the equations. Locked inside the disks were theories on dark matter meant to be used in the Crucible's main power source.
Commander Shepard.
So a Prothean? A real live Prothean? Has Liara stopped bouncing yet? I'm guessing there may have been some bouncing. Commander? Commander?
Okay, let's go and rescue the Turian Primarch. Or rather, before I do, let's go on some random adventures. Iridium is a moderate-sized hydrogen-helium gas giant with clearly visible rings. Reaper capital ships have pounded the system's moons, methodically destroying the colonies here and dismantling the infrastructure. The star chart extolling the natural beauty of the ring system now seems inappropriate. A hospitable world, home to dextro amino acid-based life, the Turian colony was famous until recently for being the site of one of the bloodiest battles in the Turian history. During the Krogan rebellions, a warlord named Grakendal took the fight to the Palavans' home cluster, bombarding the modestly defended Digeris. When reinforcements came to intercept him, Dal's navy put the rear to the Digeris so that stray shots would have hit the planet. The Turians won despite this severe handicap, using countless fighters and cruisers to take down the Krogan dreadnoughts. Today, the Turian fleet holds Digeris in a stalemate. The Reapers, concentrating on Palaven and elsewhere, sent a relatively light force to take the planet, which the Turians repelled. The Turians stand guard at Digeris, while the Reapers travel throughout the system, destroying targets of opportunity until reinforcements arrive. Colony founded in 381 BCE, population 1.9 billion, capital Apparatus. Fiax is a large terrestrial planet with a frozen surface and a thin nitrogen-based atmosphere. It presented the Turians with an interesting engineering challenge: how to mine abundant heavy metals and get them off high-gravity planets without requiring so much fuel or ESO that it ruined the profit margin. As a result, the hierarchy heavily subsidized those mining concerns in return for retaining large stores of gold, iridium and nobium for their strategic reserve. Sensors report a large Reaper force of capital ships and destroyers here, which have chased off Fiax's defenders. Interestingly, they seem to have captured several of the orbital stations intact, rather than reduce them to slag. A small terrestrial planet bathed in argon and carbon dioxide, Nios has a pressure cooker atmosphere. Probes revealed calcite cliffs but few valuable materials, and so the planet has only a few artificial satellites when the Reapers hit. Fragments from destroyed scientific research stations and spy drones litter the planet's Lagrangian points, representing a navigational hazard. A tiny rock planet with a thin reducing atmosphere, Carborix was remotely mined for millennia, first for rarer platinum group metals and radioactives, then catalysts and semiconductors, and eventually structural metals like titanium, iron and nickel. Recovery operations were grinded to a halt just before the Reapers hit the planet. The attack turned orbital stations and the Turians' early warning satellites into molten metal.
I found something.
Banner of the 1st Regiment.
Faster than light jump successful.
Okay,
Evasion successful.
I assume it's just fuel, but it's still kinda useful.
Reapers eluded.
Because I'm kind of running out of fuel, and fuel costs money anyway. This wreckage of a fuel depot was destroyed by enemy forces. Yeah, right.
Faster than light jump successful.
Is there a fueling station? It is. I mean, there is. Although, why wouldn't they destroy it? That's a hefty chunker.
Signal confirmed.
Pharos is an asteroid towed near the class blue giant Gemme to serve as a terrestrial military base in a system devoid of planets. A vast array of solar collectors absorb energy from the star and beam it to the receptors near the tidally locked asteroid terminator zone. Beneath the surface, dozens of particle accelerators generate antiprotons for starship fuel. The Reapers sent a substantial force to Gemme's system, but found the Turians were capable and prepared to defend their armada's fuel source. Warning messages say that the Reapers are still present in the system, awaiting reinforcements. At present, the Turians can still refuel, but only because they committed forces here that could have otherwise defended Palaven. Turian 79th Flotilla. Okay, this is just fuel. And so is this. Datriux is a small rock and ice planet with extremely thin, nitrogen-based atmosphere. Exploited for its various metal deposits, the planet's iridium was marked as part of Palaven's strategic reserve during the Krogan rebellions. Its facilities have been maintained to this day. Scans indicate that the Reapers did not destroy the surface facilities. It is possible either they did not see them as a threat or plan on using them for their own purposes. A few Reaper destroyers serve as a skeleton crew here, backed by a capital ship in case the Turians attempt to retake the planet. Ascensus is a hydrogen-helium gas giant that was home to a substantial Turian garrison defending the planet's fuel infrastructure. It once held a distribution center for antiproton-based fuel, as well as the more common helium-3 collectors. The garrison is now gone. The Reapers drove the Turians off and destroyed all available machinery. The Reapers appear to have moved on. A few Volus ships are now visible, likely present to scavenge the wreckage. The small planet Impera is a hothouse of helium and argon, the latter a product of decaying radioactive elements. Robomining was once lucrative here, but like the rest of the solar system, the only remaining veins are inaccessible by cost-effective means. The planet is named for Atrin Impera, the Turian Machiavelli, whose ambitious political philosophies led to his reign as a regent in the continent-spanning Nyalian Empire for more than a decade. She famously combined citizenship tiers with a meritocracy rather than a caste system, which served to strengthen her empire. This practice fell in and out of favor for centuries before its revival early in the Turian's age of nation-states. The Reaper invasion largely ignored Impera, sending only a token force to destroy the scientific equipment around the planet. Like nearby Aventen, Thylax was named for an ancient philosopher and author, but whereas Aventen wrote for the military leaders of tomorrow, Thylax focused on those who feed, clothe and heal and arm the soldier. Her enormous tome, Service, features a lengthy chapter on the laws that formed the basis of the Turian concept of citizenship tiers. Thylax is lower in temperature than Aventen, and its minerals were thus exploited first. The Turian defenses on Thylax are not completely destroyed, which is unusual. It may be that the remnants of the scattered Turian fleet regrouped using the planet for cover and eliminated the satellite-hunting Reaper destroyers before their mission was complete. More likely that the destroyers found a way to compromise the defenses through wireless hacking, and the unmanned drones present now obey them. Aventen is named for a tactical philosopher whose treatise on leadership is known by every Turian youth who pays attention in class. It is a small hot rock planet surrounded by a haze of methane and helium. It was thoroughly mined for valuable minerals in the early days of the Turian space age, and since then had little to offer. Aventen's token spy satellites and defense drones proved no match even for a small Reaper presence, and best reports suggest that they have been eliminated. The only thing on this planet that isn't silver are the Turians, and it's all too clear they are made of steel. These were Alliance hero John Grissom's impressions after the Turian homeworld Palaven, seen by humans for the first time following the First Contact War. The Turians' martial aptitude permeates every aspect of Palaven society, from architecture to art to politics. It is no surprise that their homeworld was never occupied by an invading force until now. The Reapers, aware of their enemy's reputation, brought an overwhelming force to Palaven and did not hesitate to bombard cities that resisted, and all of them resisted. The dusk and smoke from pulverized cities is now a breeding hazard across much of the planet. Water and power supplies have all but vanished. Still, the fight here has cost the Reapers dearly. Alliance Travel Advisory. Palaven's weak magnetic field means solar radiation levels are greater than those found on other habitable worlds. Human visitors are advised to wear envirosuits or other radiation protection when visiting Palaven. Population is 6.1 billion. Population of orbital stations 350,000. Capital Cyprity. Palaven's largest moon has been shrouded in secrecy since the dawn of Turian space age. During the Krogan rebellions, the hierarchy classified all data on Menae and its sister moon, Nanus, because they feared the Krogan could use the moons as weapons by smashing them into Palaven's surface. However, some information has leaked out. Images of Turian bases where personnel walk without envirosuits indicate advanced infrastructure, likely a network of subterranean tunnels with powerful mass effect field generators that retain heat and atmosphere over swaths of surface. The Reapers' plans for bombarding the bases were met with fierce resistance by the Turian fleet and the Moon aerospace defenses. With their easy victories stalled, the Reapers deployed a variety of ground units to take the bases one at a time. The Turians have the advantage on the Moon, but the Reapers have the patience to slowly grind them down. With every base captured, the Reapers deny the Turian fleet another place to repair or refuel. Okay, I am not going to land yet because this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save and end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.